Hello, Gemini. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using The Gilded Tarot by Ciro Marchetti. Marchetti? Yeah. Companion book by Barbara Moore. I don't use it, but in case you want to know that that's there, in case you're interested in this, there you go. There's a website, llewellyn.com. This is a publication from 2004. I don't know if they've reprinted it since, but if you search it out, I'm sure you'll find out that answer. Supportive Oracle Cards. You Are Clairvoyant Oracle Cards by Belinda Grace. Illustrations by Elaine Marzin. Website for them, rockpoolpublishing.com.au. A as an apple, U as an umbrella. Another thing there, if you want to freeze frame there, feel free to do that. And do as you would like with that information. There's a lot of speed with this all of a sudden. Getting a lot of... What's going on, Gemini? Ooh. Oh my gosh, who was this? I don't know. I've done a lot of them today. I want to say it was Scorpio, maybe not. They had to deal with the devil, but it went in their favor. You might have the same thing where you have to deal with the devil, but it's going to go in your favor. I think we're good. This card. Gratitude. Let's see how that fits in. I almost feel like my first thought was being thankful for the challenges because that's where you make things work. Like, you know, when you have a challenge in front of you that you seem to make it work. That's something like that. Are you leaving or going towards this? Are you traveling? What's going on? Three of Wands. It's a travel card, but I feel like I'm going into something. I feel like this is talking about your entrance into the situation. So, literally for a lot of you, I think this is talking about when you entered this situation, there's information from that very beginning that you kind of caught into that is going to be applicable here again. So it's almost like when you start a new job and you met somebody. Maybe you only dealt with them for the first few weeks of the job and then you went on to other things and you don't deal with them. Somebody like that might be coming around again. Something like that. It's related like that. Like something from the beginning is returning now. That's what I'm getting with this Three of Wands. I am an intuitive reader though, but that's literally how this is coming in. Something is like, and it's weird because this is the Wheel of Fortune, but I'm getting this Ace of Pentacles. Like, something that's always been around you is coming back into play. And it wasn't really expected. At least that person that's coming back into play was not expecting. They weren't expecting to do that. The universe might have had other plans for it, but that's what's going on. There's a good connection for you with this situation. Whoever this may be, whatever this connection is, somebody's returning. Somebody is returning, but you already know them. And it's a very good connection. With the Ten of Cups, very helpful connection. This is somebody who, I feel like you might have said something to them in the past that has proven to be true, and they remember you because of it. I feel like you might have said something like, the way that looks over there, to me, it looks like this, and that's going on. I don't know for sure, but it looks like something like that is happening from what I'm seeing. But, you know, it's just what I'm seeing. And I feel like you were very open and honest about it. Like, that over there, that doesn't look like, it's almost like looking at a patch of land and going, you know what, those plants don't naturally grow in this region. So the way I'm looking at it, looks like somebody planted those there. Especially if you look at how they're planted right in a neat row. And you can also notice certain colors, and it reminds me of a person I know who loves those colors. Makes me think not only somebody put it, but I'm thinking that person might have, just based on the colors and based on the groupings that you're seeing over here. And they do have access to that. They could do that. So to me, it looks like they could have done that. But I'm just saying it could have happened. I'm not saying it definitely did. And I feel like you were very honest about that. Like, this is how it looks to me. Not saying that's what happened. I'm just saying I'm wondering. It looks like it could have happened that way. And it proved to be true. You were right, is what I'm getting. Now, if you remember that or not, that's the trick. I feel like they'll tell you that too, and you'll be like, oh yeah, I guess I did say that. Now, what else is coming forward? There's more coming in. Somebody's returning from the past. This doesn't have to be romance. I feel like I did this with Scorpio too. I think it was Scorpio that had the Devil card. Because I think they also had this card too, which is the Lover's card. Now when these two cards get together, how do I put this? It's kind of like this doesn't have to be a physical connection, by the way. But it's like it's kind of like this. It's lust and love. When the two of them get together, there's a lot of energy with that. There's a lot that can happen with that. It's centering on the love and not letting the lust take over. It's a thing. But a lot of times, when those storybook romances happen, lust seems to bring it in first, right? Whoever this person is, we're going to go with if it's not a romantic connection, we'll go that way first. They have a lot of excitement about something. They have a lot of there's a lot they want to happen. It feels like they're very excited to make something happen here. But you have the counterpart of love, which is also your card. Lover's card is the Gemini card. True. You got to help direct this passion. I'm getting a very strong passion, but lust is a very fickle passion. It can go good and bad. It usually goes a little bit of both, in my opinion. You got to help them hone this in and not lose their heads over it. We want to make good decisions. Passion is driving this forward. When you feel the lust of passion pushing forward, sometimes less than the best decisions are made. Okay? And long-term consequences can come from that. Be it, that can go a lot of different ways. I feel like you got to help keep them together on this. We don't want this to end up in a bad situation. You are actually very effective here. I almost wonder if you're questioning that. Because in the challenge position, you have the Four of Swords. You're a very healing element here. The passion is going to be there. There's no denying it. It's just trying to keep it from... I feel like that's why the Devil card is there, saying the passion is very strong. We got to be careful not to let it get out of control. We got to contain the passion somewhat. You got this healing energy. You're very effective. You just got to keep talking to this person. You get them thinking. You keep them thinking. If there's something you want out of the situation, just keep the information going forward. Keep circling around to the same thing that you want. Whatever you want, keep circling around to it. Give them different ways of talking about it. That's your thing. You can talk about the same subject 50,000 ways. You could do it. So if there's something you want, just bring that conversation in any different way you can, any different way you need to keep them thinking about it. Because you can keep that fresh and new. Maybe it's the same subject and you know that, but you give them different ways of getting there, they're going to feel like it's a different way of looking at something, and they're going to look at it differently every time. You can get what you want. This is another way of controlling the passion. Keep showing them different angles. You're trying to calm them down probably and keep them on point, but you have so many different ways of doing it that you keep their brain going. You give them a different way of looking at it, and it keeps them occupied. It's very good. We got to be aware that there's going to be like pop-up situations. Take that where you want to take that. I'm just realizing what I did there. Anyway, you got the Knight of Wands. I just feel like this has become really cliche all of a sudden. a little bit something. In the Strength card, all this is coming in. Like, you got to realize, and I feel like you do, there's going to be moments where it's just going to have to play out the way it's going to play out. But always come back and realize you still have more to give. You have still more. Something may have played out this way. It's not over. Bring your energy back in. Bring your healing energy back in, because you are helping. You're making a difference. Even if every time it doesn't go the way you think it should, new opportunities come in, give more information. The farther you go down the road, the more you're listened to, I feel. Just keep your voice heard. If you keep having your voice heard, the more you're listened to, the longer it goes. Like, the longer you go, the more you're listened to. I got to make sure I say that right. Because it's like, if you're going 50 miles, the first 10 miles you're putting in your information and it's not being heard or it's not being listened to as much, it's not being acted on as much. That's the way to say it. You're being heard, you're being listened to, but it's not being acted on. Like you're being heard, but they're not acting on the information. The second 10 miles up to 20, they're taking more of what you're saying into consideration, like they're acting on it more. Then the farther you go, the more they go, oh, you know what, this Gemini actually knows something. Maybe I should listen to them a little closer because they were telling me heads up this, heads up that. And you have the backing of this. Like, you've told them before things and they've seen how it worked out. You might have to remind them of that. You might have to remind them, like, hey, remember when you approached me before and you said I knew what I was talking about? I got more information. Listen to me. Pay attention to what I'm telling you. The longer it goes, the better it is for you. This is better long term. I also feel like this is one of those things that does have a long term situation, but it doesn't seem to bore you because you seem to be more of that position to where you get to play with the information and you get to bring it in at different angles. You get to do different things with it. It's kind of like having a basketball court, and you have a basketball court and a basketball, but you have 50 games you know how to play. You're like, we don't have to play one-on-one. We could do this and this. We could play this game. We could play that game. I mean, just because it's a basketball court doesn't mean we can't play dodgeball. We can play dodgeball with basketball, right? Why not, right? Somebody might be like wincing at that thought, but you know, we can do. You're like, this might be what we have, but there's a lot of things we can do with it. You got a lot of value coming in. Keep talking. I almost feel like I've heard other Geminis I've talked to, like, they feel like they give out too much information. They just start talking, and before they know it, they're like, oops, said a lot of things I didn't want to say. In this situation, keep talking. It works to your benefit. Just keep talking. Because I also feel like Gemini is also that one where you let something slip, you just keep talking long enough, you'll get them to forget about it, and you can redirect the whole situation anyway. So just keep talking. I feel like keep talking. Be thankful for the challenges in front of you. That's where your opportunities will come in. You do have prosperity here. Keep talking, keep talking. This person is moving away from the negative energy, by the way. There's something that's changing around them. The boat here, the Six of Swords, is moving towards the balance. So there is something that's out of balance when they come back around, but you're helping them move more towards balance. Be aware of that, because I feel like this might be a little bit of a rocky road at times because of that. Like, sometimes it takes a little bit of stumbling to really balance something. Sometimes you have to really address what's wrong. It's kind of like if you're used to playing an out-of-tune instrument, you start to think that that's the way it's supposed to sound. And as you start tuning part of it, it's gonna start sounding bad, but it's gonna be because half of it's in tune and half of it's out. And it's hard for them to sometimes realize, no, it's hard for them to realize, like, you don't want to put it back out of tune because it sounded right that way to them. You want to keep moving towards tuning it the right way. Boy, I don't know if that analogy is going to make it. Like, if you listen to something out of tune long enough, you start to think that that's how it's supposed to sound. That's the point. And as you're tuning it and trying to make it sound right, it's sometimes hard for people to realize that because they're so used to hearing it out of tune that when it's where it's supposed to be, it just sounds off to them because they're so used to it being off. That's an analogy for life right there. It's kind of like dealing with people that are toxic. Sometimes you grow up with people who are very toxic and you get so used to it and you think that's the way it's supposed to be. And then when somebody who's actually not toxic comes in and holds it to their standard of non-toxicity, sure, why not? It feels like they're the one that's wrong because you're so used to things being toxic. People, you know what I mean? Does that make sense? I think that makes sense. I'm sure you'll tell me in the description below. Keep talking. Keep seeing these possibilities. Keep talking to this person because there's much more to come from this. This seems to be this is a long-term connection. You may have known them in the beginning. They're back now. They're going to want to stay around you. The longer they're going to want to stay around you. This can have a lot of payoff. A lot of payoff. Keep thinking. Keep talking. Keep it going. Keep talking. Definitely keep talking. This is something where I feel like this is one of those people you can keep talking to. It'll work. Again, if you let something slip that you didn't want to slip, just keep talking. They'll forget about it. Just keep talking, because you'll realize when you said something like, oops, I didn't want to say that. Just keep talking. They won't even know the difference, I have a feeling. You reiterate what you want to reiterate, that's what they're going to remember. If you just kind of let something slip, kind of like, oh, did I say that? Oh, well, what? Oh, I don't know. And just keep going. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. I feel like for the people that really connect with this energy, I think you know exactly what you need to do. I think you know what I mean, too, when you say you let something slip, but if you just keep talking, you'll wash it out. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. Anything else? All right, I'm going to shut this down here. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below. Same email. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.